Hey.
Roxy, what up? What up? What up?
What's going on?
Hey man, your hair looks amazing today. Hold on. Not everybody can out hair me, but you did it.
You know, I knew I was coming to see you, so I was like, extra gel, extra.
Yeah.
Crisco Kid.
Welcome to the show, Rocsi Diaz. I got that too. Don't play, Roxy. Don't play. So good to see you again. You're looking amazing as always.
Thank you.
Look, we're here today, and you're taking over the show for the rest of the hour because we got to talk about brand new show coming to Fox this week, September 22nd, September 23rd. It is called Alter Ego. I'm sure they've seen the commercials by now, but if they haven't, talk a little bit about it because, let me just say this. I love the concept. It seems like you're taking like real life music and Avatar, throw it into one, and bam, here we are.
That's right. I mean, we're making the most out of CGI technology. It's just literally, it's like, just think Will.I.Am. And there you go. It's just futuristic. It's everything that music should be. We're taking people that honestly get a second chance or a first chance in life to be liberated in these alter egos and really pursue their dreams in music that they maybe never had a chance or an opportunity to do. So, you know, I think it's absolutely amazing. You're going to get so investment. Listen, Crisco, I promise you, you're going to watch the show and you're going to cry. You're going to cry. You're going to think, oh my gosh, how am I crying with these like alter egos on TV? But you get so invested because you got to remember there's real human beings behind it. So I can't wait for everybody to see it. You can watch it with La Familia, which is even more important because you know, you want to be able to sit there and watch a show, a family show, and not worry about what's going to happen on TV. So it's really cool.
Roxy, before we talk about the judges, we get to them in a minute, but you hosting this thing right here. You're the pilot of the whole ship. And like you said, you know, we're going to get emotional. We're going to get emotionally divested into the participants as well. But I think one thing that's important, the way I look at it is, I mean, I've been in radio 22, almost 23 years now. And I remember at a time when I used to work at a label, and I know you know the guy with the label, but one thing that was important for us was because it was the purpose was Latins going platinum. That we didn't. One of the things was we couldn't show necessarily all of our faces at first because we didn't want people to say, "Oh, well, he's Mexican," "Oh, well, he's Colombian," or "He's Puerto Rican," or whatever the case may be. We wanted the music to kind of speak for itself. And fast forward so many years later, I think this is good because now the people can be who they are. They have the avatar to express who they are without having to be told they can't. This is the way that they're choosing to express themselves and let their voice and the talent actually be shown. There's no judging by who they are per se, but it's just about strictly the talent and the avatar that is presented.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we always say. People are being completely judged strictly on their talent. Like on other shows that are going to remain nameless, you know, they may say, oh, you're not the total package. Well, what is the total package? Like the look? Is it, you know, what is it? You know, Jennifer Hudson didn't win American Idol, and look at who J Hud is now. She's J Hud. What was she missing, you know? So what I love about Alter Ego is that this is a non-biased, non-judgmental place. You're only getting judged purely on your talent and your voice and how much you can, you know, embody the alter ego, because that's actually a really important part too. We have to believe that you are this character, as well, not character, but you're comfortable with the technology and being able to perform at this level as well. And it's a different level of performance. Let's be very, very clear. This isn't just go on a stage and perform. No, you're dealing with some technology that's never been done in this capacity before. So it's really cool to see. But yeah, what a great world to live in, to not be judged on what you look or what you have, you know, what's going on with you. And it goes deeper than that, Crisco. It goes to mental issues. If you have anxiety, if you have a fear of the stage, if you have a physical disability or illness that prevents you to not be able to perform on stage, Alter Ego gives people the opportunity to do that. So it's really a beautiful show and a beautiful concept.
Yeah, yeah, and just to touch on the technical aspect, because you said it's not like you're just getting up there. Which, by the way, like you said, it does take guts to get up there in front of all those people to do it just as yourself. But
Exactly.
to learn the technology, because I think I've seen some behind the scenes where it is almost like the green screen or what have you. You have to like kind of wear the thing so they can get your body movement right. Is that how it kind of works? And they kind of create your alter ego. Yeah. And then you have to be able to put it all together, right?
Yeah, the contestants had creative control in working with the CGI team and being able to create their alter egos and personalizing them to fit their character, their movements and everything. So they're in the mocap suits, and every move that our contestants do, the alter ego does. Even crying, if they're backstage crying, you're going to see our alter ego with lágrimas, with tears crying down their face. It's mind-blowing, the technology. It's just outrageous. It's really, really crazy. I think that was one of the things that blew me away the most. So I was like, wait, the person backstage is crying, but the alter ego is crying. You're like, what is going on? It was so cool.
Yeah, and you did say Will.I.Am earlier. Let's bring him in now. Let's bring the judges. You got Girmes, you got Alanis Morsette, Lachey, and Will.I.Am. And you hit it right on the head. Like when you think of Will.I.Am, you look at the Black Eyed Peas. Yeah, you just look at Will as his creative direction. Yeah. How involved was he, or like, is this partially his baby? Who's behind the alter ego to like think with this whole process?
Yeah, between Girmes and Will.I.Am, it's like, okay, like this came from their brains, But honestly, you couldn't pick a better judging panel to judge this show. Like I'll start with Alanis Morsette. Freaking iconic legend. Come on, whose karaoke song is not ironic? Okay, it's just like, that's just what it is. She's so smart. She's literally, Will.I.Am says she's like the walking Britannica. Like that should be her name. It's Alanis Britannica Morsette, because she's so smart, so intuitive. She's got this motherly thing too, like for the show, and then, really invest in like the spirituality and the personalization of every single one of the contestants. So it's really awesome. And she knows vocals and she knows what she's listening for. Lachey is like, come on now. Like he knows boy bands, he knows the industry, and he knows, like I always look at him, I'm like, thank you for not hosting and letting me host, because he does everything. So it's fun to have him there. And he's such a freaking pro. Like he just knows what to do and how to set up every moment. So he makes great TV. Girmes, I mean, she is this generation. She is a gamer. She is the future. She lives in robot land. I think Girmes will probably be the first robot ever created, and will live forever. And between her conversations with Will.I.Am, we get lost. We just watch because we're like, we don't know what they're saying. I'm not intellectually smart enough to be a part of their conversations because it's just like fireworks, Right. And then Will.I.Am is just, I mean, musically, iconically, it's just like, I just want to know what his IQ and ACT scores and SAT scores were, because it just must have like been a different number that wasn't on the chart, because he's just so freaking smart. And I know people in the industry, like a Kanye, that I'm like, sometimes you're just a past people, and people won't get you. And you live in your own world. And it's just like, that's Will. And thank God for him, because like Will creates the future and what we follow in the music business. So our panel of judges are like literally top tier. I was super excited to work with them. Will.I.Am has been a longtime friend of mine. I've been a huge fan of Alanis Morsette forever, ever and ever. And, it was great to get to know Girmes and great to work with Lachey, a pro. It's just fun. And a diverse cast at that. Like, come on. We got all walks of life.
You got everybody in it.
Everybody in it.
Let me ask you this, because I know the first episode is premiering after the 6th season of the Masked Singer. How have you talked with Nick, or how did this come about? And you're like, hey, here's what I'm doing over here. This might work for me here. Or is it, yo, we got a little friendly competition. We're going to see.
Well, first of all, there's no competition, because we're both part of the same amazing network with Fox, and kudos to Fox to giving, you know, giving us a platform to be able to host big shows and trusting big shows like that and not going the traditional route of a cookie cutter host. So that first and foremost was absolutely cool. I was excited to be working and coming after Nick, being a part of his career too, and seeing his growth and him as an amazing host. What better show to come after than The Masked Singer? I mean, come on, it's like one of the biggest shows on TV right now. So the alley-oop is there for us, and it's awesome. And there is some cross promotion, you guys will see. But I mean, I'm a huge fan of Nick Cannon. I love everything Nick Cannon does and he stands for. And so yeah, you'll get to watch two really cool, fun shows back to back. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm gonna pick off from right here where earlier you mentioned Kanye in his own world. You know, a lot of people talking about Kanye versus Drake. And I'm coming to you right now as, you know, Miss 106 in Park. I'm coming to you as Rocsi Diaz here.
It's literally the battle of the Titans all over again for me, because I remember when Kanye and who was it? It was Kanye and 50 came out with an album the same time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the anxiety and the stress of that and having to pick a side. So learning my lesson from that time, because I don't want to ever get back on somebody's bad side again. You know, I'll say this. They're two totally, completely different albums. And they're two totally, completely geniusly made albums. Drake's album is a bop, like straight up a bop. Like you're like listening to front and back. You're getting ready to go to the club, a bop. Kanye's music is what hip hop needs lyrically to have a foundation and a base to mean something and stand for something, the way, you know, KRS-One did, the way Wu-Tang did, the way Talib Kweli did, and not to say the way J. Cole does, the way 21 Savage does, you know, and not to say Kanye West is a backpacker artist, because that's not what he was, but that was his foundation.
I was about to say, that
was his foundation. Yeah. So it is, you know, I love to see him, and I think more should embrace their spirituality and their love for God. He did teeter-totter a gospel album, but but I like that, you know, he's embracing his love and his passion for Christ. And I think that that's something that a lot of artists should embrace and showcase a lot more. It's like, there's nothing wrong with that.
None at all. And you're right. I think both albums, this is what I said on air too, should be appreciated. You don't have to always put people against each other, celebrate the albums for what they are. And you know, I ain't gonna lie, and I talked about this the first time that I was listening to Donda. I wasn't ready. I think I wasn't in the right space. I was just kind of like, oh, let me just kind of get through it, right? And then the second time and the third time, I was like, okay, here I am.
Yeah.
And I think
it is definitely one of those, you know, it's not, again, Drake is a bop.
Right.
You know, Drake is a bop.
Right.
Kanye, it's one of those, you're going to sit down and you're going to meditate and think to it, and it's going to take you there. And it's like so great. And I'm a huge Kanye fan and I'm a huge Drake fan. They're both titans. I will say this though, that this track of Kanye's, you kind of wanted some of that Kanye on the album too. You were like, wait, what happened to those? Like, you kind of wanted some of that. But I don't agree with that, the way all of that happened. But Andre 3000's verse on that track was absolutely mind-blowing too. And it was nice to hear that as well. Yeah. So yeah, well, that's my take on that.
I think, you know, at the end of the day,
before I get into any other trouble, I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah. Leave it like that. Leave it like that. Your next career will be in politics. Just keep it right there down the middle. Praise them both. Praise them all. Hey, and it's from politics to, you know, Pitbull calls it politricks, and which leads me to our next question, our next segment, which we call the Pitbull Experience, and this is where I ask the guest, what is one of their favorite moments, since this is Pitbull's globalization, like what moment sticks out, whether it's inspirational, whether it's, y'all got lit in Miami once or wherever it might have been. What you got, Rocsi?
Well, there's been plenty of lits in Miami's for sure. Plenty of times for that, but I'll talk of the humanity of Pitbull. This was before I ever met him. He had never been to 106 in Park. And there's two guys for me. It's Pitbull and Lenny Kravitz. And everybody knew for my birthday, it's either Pitbull or Lenny Kravitz. Pitt got word. I don't know how he found out, but he got word. And he invited me to come to a show. I think it was in the Dominican Republic. And Wisin and Yandel were performing. And back in Aventura, when Aventura was like this is like the beginning of like the reggaeton the revampment of that, you know? And Pitt had me fly to Puerto Rico to attend as his guest at this concert. And I remember, I think I met him in Miami, and we were rushing, I mean, a la carrera to the gate. And like superstar, like global superstar, seriously. But he stopped at every single person that wanted to take a picture. And he's like, I don't care if I miss my flight, because this one experience that this fan has for me, it's not just their experience. They're going to go back and tell la tía, el tío, el abuela, los hijos, las hijas, las amigas, y todo eso, right? And he's like, that creates a ripple effect. And I want my reputation to always be one of greatness and kindness. So he stopped for everybody, no matter if he missed the flight or not. And that stuck with me for the rest of my career, because I'm like, you know what? You're right. No matter what mood you're in, whether you're in a rush, you're going to miss a flight, you're having dinner with your family or whatever like that. These people, if you have these people, but your fans, you know, have an experience with you that they treasure. There's so many times that people will be like, Rocsi, I met you on 106 in Park. Do you remember? And that's like over, not to date myself, over 10 years ago. And I'm like, oh yeah, I wish I did remember, but they remember. So I always take that away from Pitt, that no matter how huge of a superstar he just is the most humble freaking person that you will ever meet in your life. And then you get drunk with him.
Then the air horns come back out.
Fireball came out, and all I remember is it was New Year's Eve, and we were doing the Pitbull New Year's Eve anniversary show thing that I think was on Fox also. And it was me, him, and Lala, and it was a lot of Fireball. And I just remember we had to go from one main stage to get on a boat, a speedboat in Miami with dancers and Fireball, and take that all the way across the bay to another stage. And then Pitt jumps on that stage, and it's Pitbull. And he does it like como respirando. It's like nothing for him.
Right. Mr. Worldwide, Mr. 305, Mr. I Feel Good, ladies and gentlemen. Rocsi, you mentioned 106 in Park and just touching the fans, and it's been a while, but from radio to TV, Entertainment Tonight to Cannonball to Alter Ego right now on Fox, premiering September 22nd, 23rd. What would your advice be? Because I feel like you're about to reach another level as far as representing women, representing Latinas for hosting on Fox, right? This is huge network television, and there's going to be young girls. There's going to be just people and brown people all across the world. They're going to watch this show, and they're going to think, how can I be like Rocsi one day? What do I have to do, whether it's being on TV, whether it's hosting, whether it's radio, however they may know you?
I always tell everybody, I was like, don't be like me, be better than me. I want you, if I'm opening the door, and I never ever looked at it like that. It wasn't until recently that somebody's like, you open the doors, you're one of, pave the way, brown girls on TV. I never, ever, ever looked at it like that. And then I sit back, especially now where we're in this age where we're more consciously cautious of diversity and what we see on TV and representation. I'm glad. I'm so, again, this I manifested. This has been a long dream of mine to host a competition show of this magnitude and on Fox. And I thank them so much for, again, not hiring the cookie cutter host and giving a little brown girl a shot, But it's like, keep your reputation and keep your hustle clean. Treat everybody the way you want to be treated. It's so true. You may not get that job that you went out for. And Alter Ego is a prime example of that, because literally 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I did a pilot for a show that never made air. Nobody would ever hear about it. 3 of the main producers of that show remembered me for being the host and are now the head producers at Fox. and brought me in to audition and to talk to me about this, about alter ego. And if it wasn't for my work ethic on that pilot, I don't believe I would have got this shot and this opportunity too. But when the opportunity came 3 years later, you know, it was meant to be. So always remember that that one no may not be, it's no because it's no right now. It's not right now, but it will come back. And as long as you keep your name clean, you know, your reputation clean, it stay humble and everything, and just keep grinding. Just know it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen on your time. It's gonna happen on God's time. And you just really have to believe in that. I know, trust me, during quarantine, I was like, what am I gonna do? TV was shut down. I couldn't go out and take meetings and everything like that. I was dipping into the piggy bank deep. And then God opened the door and this came through. And I was like, wow, like always comes through no matter what. And then I say it to say, I wish more people like Kanye would embrace spirituality and their beliefs more, because we need to hear that. We need to hear that too, that it's okay. It's okay. Cause we all live through it. We all go through it. So it's like, why not embrace it more?
Right. There you go. Rocsi, what a great conversation.
Thank you.
Very, very good to have this talk. And once again, everyone get ready because it's going down after the season 6 premiere of The Masked Singer. Stick around because you don't want to miss this. It is called Alter Ego on Fox with Rocsi Diaz hosting. You got Lachey, Alanis Morsette, Girmes, and Will.I.Am.
Will.I.Am.
One more time, last words for Alter Ego. Go ahead, Rocsi.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, guys, you've never seen anything like this. It's gonna be your favorite show. I guarantee it. Watch it with the kids. You're gonna have so much fun. It's just fun. It's just fun. And yeah, check us out. Alter Ego, September 22nd and 23rd on Fox, right after The Masked Singer. It's gonna be great. And support a brown girl.
Yeah, no, that's why. Hey, that's, you know.
Todos mis latinos, todo de cultura, todos tienen que ver esto. You gotta support us, because if we don't support each other, then we're not gonna see each other on TV. So please tune in and support.